Hello, in this video we are going to discuss about the standard templates prescribed by International Accounting Standards, which are issued by usually Uniform System of Accounting for Lodging Industry, issued by AHLI, American Hotel Association for Lodging Industries. So the first template issued by the usually is by the AHLI is Grand P&L. So here is the standard format of the Grand PL, which is divided into two parts: statistics and then the operating department. So here this is a this template describes a summary of all the hotel operations, operational matrices plus the revenue and expenses performance for each department separately. So here you have rooms department, F&B, other operating departments, and then you can see the expenses for each department: rooms, F&B, other operating department, administrative, and information technology, sales, marketing, property operations, utilities, and then you have non-operating expenses. So this one page summary can give you an overall overview of your hotel's performance. Normally all the P&Ls we are comparing for two things, month to date and year to date, and for each period we are comparing actual versus budget and last year. So if you don't have the budget, you can take my class for how to set up the budget for hospitality industry. But most of the time we are compared to the previous year, because budgets are only forecasted. However, those are very important metrics to see how our actions are resulting into the performance. Is it as per the what we expected or what we didn't expect it? The details of each and individual P&L is also further divided into separate P&L. So the hospitality industry is all about the financial reporting is all about the different P&L. So this is a summary one, and then the next up is the P&L for the rooms division. So here you can see the rooms division P&L, which is again you have room revenue, then expenses. We did look at the room revenue is segregated into the segmentations for their business, like transient business is divided into retail, discounted, negotiated, and other qualified wholesale, and then you have groups room revenue, which we discussed in our previous videos, so you can refer back. And then you have expenses, which are divided into labor and non-labor expenses. So labor is further divided into the various categories by management, non-management. Then you have for each operating department within the room division also, and then for other P&Ls also is the same structure. So the first thing they do is management and non-management. Non-management is further divided. Non-management is further divided into operations of each division, and then the service money, bonus, incentive, payroll taxes. So these the individual meaning of these terms we are discussing in our individual courses for each division. So we have a course for rooms division, we have course for F&B division, and we have other courses as well. So the other expenses for room division are further divided into various categories, as you can see here: commissions, complimentary, contract services, laundry, guest supplies, operating supplies, printing and stationery, traveling, uniform, etc., etc., etc. So this is, and then you have a departmental profit. Now this is the standard profit and loss, but there is no I have modified this P&L into a slightly different version. I have taken out the details of revenue, which we normally look into and separate annexure. So here we are having a revenue summary only, and then you have all the expenses which are similar to the individual in the international standard. However, in the bottom you will notice I have added certain parameters here, which are average room sold, paid occupancy percentage, average daily rate, RevPAR, which we saw in our main P&L as well. Why we are adding it? Because we want to look at the picture completely, because if the revenue performance depend on the quantity and the value. So if we don't have it on one page, then we have to go back and forth and look at the individual pages, so it's gonna waste our time. So the information is succinct into one single page, so that we can review it very easily. Now the next one is the F&B division P&L. So the F&B division P&L again is the same structure. We are looking for revenue. We are looking into food revenue, beverage revenue, other revenue, and then food and beverage revenue is further divided into outlets. Again, we have looked at into the in our previous videos, but there are more type of segregations that we can do by category of the food as well, and then the type of business source as well. Then you have the cost of sales. Cost of sales is food sales and the beverage sale. And then the other expenses, which is labor cost, which we saw in previous P&L as well. So here again, his P&L is further divided into management and non-management. Management, because F&B has two main departments, service and kitchen. So the management, there are normally manager and then there is executive chef. So those their offices are divided into the service and kitchen, and then non-management is further divided into banqueting, kitchen, venues, and other divisions. And then you have service charge, other similar to the rooms division. Then the other expenses are consist of other departmental expenses, and then you have the profit and loss. Similar like rooms division, I have modified the P&L into a slightly different way. So one thing is the summary, then food, beverage, another revenue and allowances. The individual breakdown of these one is normally shown as a separate one. Then you have cost of sales, cost of food sale, cost of beverage sale, audiovisual, miscellaneous, total cost of sale, and then the gross profit. Then you have the total labor cost, which is a separate annexure, and the other departmental expenses. So this is because the P&L is long one, so I have divided it. I have shown it to separate one. Here also you can see we had cover and average check as additional statistics which we want to see, which is not there in the standard P&L, because we want to see the cover and quantity and the value for comparing the revenue and with the budget and last year, and also the expenses, which are also seen usually as a percentage to the total revenue. So here this percentage column is a very important column when we are analyzing the P&L, so which we are gonna look at in other videos as well. Then you have labor breakdown, which is management, and then you have preparations to wording for service, miscellaneous. So it's very simple breakdown. Then there's an additional matrix which is called total number of permanent employees, or you can call nowadays is called FTE, full-time equivalent, because we have casual and contract labor as well. So this one is also important to analyze. This information is again important to analyze the labor cost. Now the next P&L in the line is the operating departmental P&L. So this is a standard P&L for all operating departments. Only the name will change, but mostly is only a one-line revenue. So it can be spa revenue, can be laundry revenue, can be transportation, can be anything. And then the related cost of sale. So the cost of sale of the spa, so which is normally the chemicals only. And then you have the expenses, which is similar as the other two P&L that we discussed, management, non-management, and then the other components. And then you have other departmental expenses here. So this is pretty much the standard format. Then you have administrative expenses, which is called administration in general. This one, they have no revenue. However, you can compare together with the gross operating revenue, and then the percentage is calculated based on the gross operating revenue of the hotel. So now you can see there are the labor cost is same again. Management, non-management. Non-management is further divided into accounting, general support, human resource, purchasing, security, and then the other components. And then the other expenses are here, which are audit, bank charges, donations. So the individual meanings of these the courses I will attach the definitions. You can refer it from there, or otherwise you can take up my next courses. Then you have maintenance and utilities, which is again how we are maintaining the expenses. So Maintenance expense specifically are divided into the type of equipment like electric equipment, elevators, engineering supplies. Then you have equipment rental, floor covering, furniture, kitchen, laundry, licenses, life safety equipments, light and bulbs, then painting and coloring, plumbing, swimming pool equipment. So these are just to know and compare the results of actual with the budget and last year, so that we can know in if we are spending over, when which in which line of account we are spending over. Then you have sales and marketing in the last. I skipped the information technology department, which is very new in the standard, and it's not implemented in most of the hotels yet. So, but that is also just the cost is further. That's it. The structure is the same. Expenses and the non-labor expenses and non-labor expenses. Non-labor expenses is further divided into various categories. For sales and marketing is loyalty, media, how they are familiarization, trips, then trade shows, trainings, promotions, how they are spending the money for marketing of the company. So these are all the standard P&Ls of the hotel. Next up, we will be looking at the analysis, how we are going to analyze the revenue of the hotel. Thank you very much.